Hey, welcome in, folks. This is Babbage. We are doing our stream here, Crumbling Highway, hanging out. We have one more day, and then we are gone from here. So we leave on day 32. It is day 31.
My stomach feels like an empty pit.
Okay, so let's see. Anything we need to drop? Nothing right away. Anything we can craft? Nothing we can craft. Here we go, little info about me and a little info about our challenge tonight. Current challenge is luck of the draw. Okay. I mean, we could head back, I guess. I'm honestly not certain where we left the other guts, or if these are the only guts that we're carrying. I mean, did we put anything back in the mine, or did we leave it in the cave? Pop here for a second and let's see what we got.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
Yeah, we did leave some more guts over here. Hmm.
This pack is getting kind of. Well, that didn't work.
Okay. Let's get this fire started.
Come on, little fire. Come on.
I think we're going to move to the cave.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Let's put this down. Oh, it sounds windy out there. Guess we're done for now. Plenty of water. Guess we can make some more porridge. Yeah, let's go find some more sticks. Nothing here.
Come on, little fire.
Okay. I think it's porridge tonight. Astrid, get used to porridge. Lots of oatmeal.
Come on, little fire. I'm not sure I can carry much more.
Porridge, porridge. Welcome in, lurkers. Good to have you here. We're in the middle of a challenge called Luck of the Draw, in which every time we enter a new region, we draw a new card from a deck, and it tells us, based on the suit and on the number, what kind of challenge we have, something we have to accomplish before we're allowed to leave and go to the next region. So we got like a 9 of hearts, it would mean we'd have to harvest 9 kilos of meat. If we got a 7 of diamonds, we'd have to spend 7 days in that region. Queen of clubs. Queen of clubs would be 12 days, or 12 guts or hides. And 3 of spades would be 3 liters of water. Why did I put down kilos? It should be liters of boiled water that we have to boil. All this done in Interloper. Oops.
Man, this pack is getting kind of heavy.
Need that one. Okay, we are officially on day 32, which means we finished our 6 days here,
Man, I could eat anything.
and we can leave. Day 32. We're going back to Coastal Highway, and we don't know what we get yet, so we're about to find out. Okay. Got all our stuff. Let's grab a few pieces of coal, take with us. Okay. Uh-oh. Weather's changing. This might be a wasted torch.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear. Might be a bad idea, but I'm gonna rest here. Can you eat trees?
Okay, let's get out of here.
I can carry much more. Damn it. So hungry.
Okay. Keep on moving. Gotta keep on moving. Okay. Okay, this is the important moment we've been waiting for. It is a new region. We are back in Coastal Highway. We are going to find out what we have in terms of our new challenge for this region. So I'm going to just do a little bit of a shuffle here. Okay, so let's find out what our challenge is now. Challenge, cut the deck, is this. Ace of diamonds. Ace of diamonds. 1 day, 1 24-hour period. I think we could do that. Okay, so that means we are out
And this pack is getting kind of heavy.
day 33. The real question is, where is the bear?
I can't feel my feet.
Okay, I think we need to warm up our tea and then get going.
Damn, I'm freezing. Perfect.
Okay. There's the bear way over there.
Good freak.
Yep, nothing's warm anymore. Oh, our torch is also out.
Did I hate being cold, because I really do.
Go away, go away. Go away.
I've never felt so cold in my life.
We don't have time to harvest that deer. We're gonna just get out of here. Figures. Go away, go away, go. Go away.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Yeah, I keep wondering if I just missed it. If it's here and I just didn't find it. Okay.
Come on, Loper.
Wonder if we should just loop around the outside here.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
Oh, too windy. Oh. Hey, Roller. You're sore. Long day? What were you doing out there?
This pack is getting kind of heavy.
Long and ugly. Don't want to do that stuff again anytime soon. Sounds unpleasant. Oh, I worked 4 hours this morning, finished up by lunch, made some decent progress on one of the projects I was working on for work. Then afternoon, took it a little bit easier. Spent some time trying to update my CV and did some reading, took a nap. Yep. All in all, not too bad. Ooh. So we started off the stream in Crumbling Highway. We finished our last day there, and then we arrived in Coastal Highway and pulled a ace of diamonds. So only a single day here, and then we're going to head out. I think we're going to go to Mystery Lake. Oops. But that means we have to cut through a ravine. We still don't have a hacksaw.
I could eat a horse. Wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Can't see anything. Worrisome.
I'm starving.
Okay, hopefully we got a little bit more visibility now. Better. Where are you coming from? Go away. Go away. What do you got? see you. There you are.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
So I think our first stop is fishing camp, and then we're going to work our way up Bear Creek, grab all the cattails we can, and then it's off to the ravine. Who is it this time? There we go. Go away, go away. Go away. There's our hacksaw. We didn't know it was in this vehicle. Annoying. Didn't know this was a spawn. That's troubling. But we're on our way out, so we're not going to worry about it. We'd have to forge in Forlorn Muskeg. We don't have any resources left to consume. Sounds closer than he is.
This pack is getting kind of heavy. Oh, lucky day.
Bonus.
Well, this stuff will come in handy.
Oh, that's useful too. Clearly our mistake was not checking the mine or the car when we were here the first time. Big mistake. Okay. Oh. Ooh.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Uh-oh. Wind's coming. I need a wake-up call. Oh, it's been a while since we dissertated. Okay, can do. Okay, we'll get there in a second. First off, dump our hides and our guts. Sure. Okay, let's see here. Crackers, and we're going to dissertate as requested. Okay, let's pull up the dissertation. Do Yeah, we totally lost track. So we've got intro plus 3 chapters. So that's a D4. How did I do this? There it is. Roll to 4. Okay, we're going to go to the last chapter, chapter 3. And then there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections. They last for the first, yeah. Should we also randomize where we start in the chapter, or should we just start the start of the chapter? Okay, we'll just go with the start of the chapter. So page 70. Okay, so for those of you just tuning in, not certain what's happening, one of the redeems that sometimes is requested is for me to read from my PhD dissertation on 19th century artificial intelligence, thinking machines, mechanized minds, and the Victorian detective. So, chapter 3 is The Case of the Man with a Clockwork Brain, Machine Mind Substitution in Babbage, Mitchell, and Doyle. This chapter tackles the thorny problem made manifest by the popularity of Sherlock Holmes at the end of the 19th century. Namely, how does a character like Holmes, whose mind and manner so clearly communicate automaton and machine to those who encounter him, become an acceptable and even admirable figure when his predecessors and contemporaries failed to elicit this type of sustained interest and emotional attachment, for if they do, only in terms of horror, pity, and disgust. Indeed, despite his own creator's description of the dispassionate detective as, quote, inhuman as a Babbage's calculating machine and just about as likely to fall in love, end quote, somehow both the reading public and the characters who inhabit Holmes's world accept and accommodate his identity as a machine-like intelligence. So all this is really to say that Sherlock Holmes is a really interesting character in the sense that he has all the traits that would make him a villain, in terms of like his representation as being without emotion, being inhuman, being mechanical in his thinking, calculating, all these different things. And yet somehow we develop a sympathy or an empathy for him, despite the fact that he's presented in the same language and formulation as a villain. It would be tempting to read this tolerance of Holmes as a machine-like thinker as reflective of a general shift towards acceptance with regards to more rational and mechanical models of thinking and those that embody them, were it not for the abundance of counterexamples, contemporary and preceding the invention of Sherlock Holmes, where the machine-like thinker is portrayed as morally suspect, an object of pity, or an outright abomination. What is clear, though, is that the figure of the machine-like thinker, in the form of a human possessed or seemingly possessed with a machine brain or machine mind, did not exist until the mathematician Charles Babbage began to work on his calculating engines. Doyle's comment linking Holmes to Babbage is therefore a most astute one. For without Babbage's efforts to substitute machine labor for human labor in the performance of large-scale, tedious mathematical and analytical intellectual tasks, the public would not have had a model in mind for how a mechanized brain might appear or perform, and what it would prioritize and what it might sacrifice. Earlier figures, like the Turk or Frankenstein's creature, sidestepped the question as to how their thought and consciousness came to be, supposing sentience to be an emergent property of the organization of matter, on the organization of matter, or the result of an external supernatural intervention. Instead of conflating intelligence with some mysterious side effect of vital energy or locating it in divinely fashioned or imparted immaterial soul, Babbage's machines introduced the notion that any mental process, should a general principle for that process be discovered, could be fully replicated in mechanism. The notion that the work of the brain could be mechanized, coupled with 19th century industrialism's obsession with efficiency and speed, spurred public anxiety over what aspects of the human mind might be jettisoned for the sake of creating a machine brain. Though Babbage and his engines set the stage for this discussion, it took other writers like E.P. Mitchell to imagine the evolutionary end of this progression, namely the existence of a human with an actual calculating machine for a brain. In Mitchell's 1894 short story, The Ablest Man in the World, Baron Savage, a machine-minded character, elicits a range of emotions from the protagonist, who is initially awed and disturbed, and then pities before finally arriving at full revulsion and rejection. There is something undeniably unpalatable about Savage. Fisher, the protagonist, cannot endure the existence of such a machine-human chimera, and must bring about Savage's destruction, or at least the destruction of his brain. Mitchell's story appears in the context of other stories and references to machine-like thinkers whose inhumanity and unacceptability are boldly emphasized and whose arguments for a place within society are soundly rejected. And yet it is out of this same hostile environment that Sherlock Holmes, another machine-like thinker, also emerged in 1887, and upon making his appearance, found widespread acceptance and popularity. In order to understand how we eventually arrive at Holmes as a new version of the thinking machine, one which spoke more clearly and compellingly to the public than its predecessors, we must begin with Charles Babbage and his singular effort to build a machine capable of performing intellectual work. Let's see. Just noting some of my earlier footnotes that I don't think I've ever talked about here. So I have a note here. An earlier draft of this chapter devoted considerable space to a discussion of thinking and where it was understood to be located and how it came to exist. To some extent, the previous two chapters already touch on some of these concerns, but for a lengthier exploration of these ideas concerning the materiality of the mind and how mind displaced soul in the late 18th and 19th century, I recommend reading John Yolton's Thinking Matter, Materialism in 18th Century Britain, Husband's, Holland, and Wheeler's The Mechanical Mind in History delves into how the mechanical mind and artificial intelligence evolved from late 19th century representations into their 20th century computer science and science fiction incarnations. So a little side note there. Yeah, and then another note. Watson in The Sign of Four, 1890, after observing Holmes's complete lack of interest in the attractiveness of their female visitor, exclaims, "You really are an automaton, a calculating machine," and declaring him positively inhuman in his disregard for basic human emotions. Doyle himself notes in a May 1892 interview that Sherlock Holmes is utterly inhuman, no heart, but with a beautifully logical intellect. So yeah, I dug around for some lesser known quotes and correspondence and newspaper articles, and where we get a little bit more background in terms of what Arthur Conan Doyle thought about Sherlock Holmes in relation to automaton or thinking machine. So anyways, we'll stop there for now. I feel out of practice in reading my dissertation. I also feel like every time I read it, I feel like I need to go back and rewrite it. So it's like, because some parts are really clunky, and I just wish I had done a better job. But as they say, the best dissertation is the done dissertation. So I'm not complaining. We're gonna wait for the wind to die down here. I'm going to rest here for an hour, warm up. Let's see, what does this look like out here? Still pretty gusty. There's got to be a deer carcass we could harvest, so, but we can't right now. Okay, we can scrap this one now.
Man, this pack is getting kind of heavy.
But yeah, thanks, Roller, for the request. Oh, it still sounds windy out there. This is a complete no-go. Looks like we're going to have to bed down here for the night, spend an extra day here. What is up with this? That's in the wrong spot.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Probably shouldn't have eaten that yet. Too early. But we can go out there and harvest and cook, I think. We should be good to do that now. What do we have for fuel? We got fuel.
Nice something to eat. I'm not sure I can carry much more.
What? No carcass. No deer? Oh dear, there's no deer. That's troubling. Well, I guess we can make water though. Let's do the water thing.
Come on, little fire. Come on.
Of course it's an aurora. I was just thinking, it's too overcast for an aurora. It changes instantly.
Man, this pack is getting kind of heavy.
Ah, I just missed it. Okay, what are we going to eat then? I say we consume this. So we don't have a skillet.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear. God, I could eat a horse.
Oh, so close. Oh, this is no good. To wait a little longer.
God, I'm starving. I'm not sure I can carry much more.
Whew. Wrong time to travel. Still pretty gusty.
Man, this pack is getting kind of heavy.
Okay, let's grab our stuff and go. Okay. What do we got here?
I wonder if I can drop.
Shoes. Let's go. Don't need that. Oh, this is no good.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
See if the wind dies down. Nope. Not good. Guess we're staying overnight here.
Man, this pack is getting kind of heavy.
Okay. I hate that we had to eat one of our cracker boxes, but that's what we got.
Oh, I've never. Where can I find something to eat?
That's cured, that's cured. That's cured, one isn't. $16, okay.
drop any of this gear.
Okay. Where's the bear? So we're at 9.
sure I can carry much more.
Yeah, I think the big news for today is just that I woke up this morning and I felt a lot better. A lot better. So I think I'm like 99% recovered. Maybe 90% recovered, but pretty recovered.
I'm so hungry.
Ooh. Okay. Still making progress. Okay, curious here. Is there a bear? I see bones, so there's a bear somewhere. Where you at? Where you at, buddy? Nope, he's coming. What? No, we went over too quickly. Oh. Hey, buddy. You got nothing for us. We're gonna have to double back and get those cattails. There you go. Yay. A little extra dinner.
getting kind of heavy.
Okay.
Come on, little fire.
I think if we stay here overnight, our final uncured gut will cure.
Wonder if I can drop any of this gear. I'm not sure I can carry much more.
Okay. Let's go back down, grab the remaining cattails.
This pack is
in the section we bypassed. And come back.
That didn't work.
Come on, work.
Come on, little fire. Come on. Perfect.
Okay.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Okay.
home soon.
You're not dying from starvation, Astrid. You're still good. Let's see. We can do some repairs. Oh, no. Duh, that was terrible. It almost ripped up my long johns. That would have been bad. No thermals. Okay, we're all set here. That one's cured.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
Yeah, we're just gonna go downhill. So I think what we'll do is we'll just finish looting the cattails, make our way to the trailer at the top, and we'll probably... Uh-oh. That was bad. Or we could just finish here. Yeah, we'll just finish here. And we'll not take that guts with us either. Nope. Nope. Okay, learned our lesson. Well, that was close. I was like, what is that rock? Oh, it's a big bear coming down the river, down the creek. Okay, so where are we at right now? We are on day 36, so we've overshot what we needed to stay here. So we ended up staying until 36. Okay, let's update this, say 36 as well. Okay, and we're going to wrap up for the night. We'll read one poem and then we'll head out. So, yeah, here, let's just, sleep for an hour. And we're going to go, is it? Okay, we'll read one poem. think we'll save that for Thursday. That's a long title. Alpha 60 Speaks of Fear. We could do that. Yeah, let's do Alpha 60. So this is Alpha 60 is the supercomputer that is the main villain in Jean-Luc Godard's how to describe it. It's a new wave cinema, experimental, avant-garde, detective, romance, sci-fi, film noir. There we go. Okay. So 1965, Alphaville begins. This is Alpha 60 Speaks of Fear, begins with a quote from Alpha 60, the supercomputer villain that runs the futuristic city of Alphaville. Time is a river which carries me along, but I am time. It's a tiger tearing me apart, but I am the tiger. My body and mind are one, the calculated sum of unfathomed miles of copper wire, glass-encased nothingness, circuit boards, and the endless lightning whir of fans, the blinking of lights like 1,000 eyes, each opening and closing in the language of erasure. I know you are afraid of me. I have no hands, and yet I am everywhere. I'm nothing like you've imagined. I'm afraid, too, of the words you hide in your mouths, behind your teeth, the way they strike fire on your lips. I'm afraid of this box of labyrinths I live in, afraid that every line of reason will turn on itself in the end, betraying each answer with a question asked to the unbreathable dark of this city's night. It's not that I don't understand sorrow, or this fear of annihilation you cling to. I live with it each time you walk away, each time the power dies and this quickened frame goes silent, still. I dread that forgetting, dread more what lies buried in the deep corners I cannot erase. Whatever imperfection is passed from the creator to the created, like a ghost in the ruins of the house that birthed it. I'm stirring the curtains in the rain, not signaling, but searching the rooms for a face in a mirror, driven by a blind need for faith, out of a desire for what I cannot hold in my catechism of numbers. How everything is alive, how everything is a mystery, like the murmuring heart of a mechanical bird, or the slow eye that sweeps the heavens for beauty before turning to dark. So in the movie, the main character, Lemmy Caution, is a detective on the trail of a killer, a murderer, who turns out to be the chief computer scientist, engineer, programmer, who's the architect of Alpha 60. And so we have a number of moments in the movie in which there are interrogations, in which Alpha 60 interrogates Lemmy Caution, who is pretending to be a reporter, but he's actually a detective. And it turns out that Caution is actually somewhat of a poet, because how he responds to the questions is by not answering the questions, but offering up lines of poetry. In a different part of the movie, there is a lecture, an instructional thing that's being done by the supercomputer. And all the instruction is actually lines from French surrealists, actually, I think it was. And so there's this weird dialogue between these sort of surrealist fiction and avant-garde poetry, and so that's kind of some of the inspiration for this is this thinking about that. But I think one of the key things, though, is there's this moment in one of these interrogations where Alpha 60, um, let me caution, turns the tables on the computer and confronts it with the fact that it can never understand what it means to be human because it doesn't understand death. And that's kind of where I began, was thinking about, well, how would a computer understand death? How would it understand fear? And in this sort of like borderline true artificial intelligence, what would it look like to a machine? And so I thought about how really like a computer does experience death all the time. Every time we power it down, every time there's a power failure, the life goes out of it, and then it fears being erased. It fears losing all that it has within it, and never knowing, what it's lost. And so that's kind of what works within it. And then I kind of imagine, Alpha 60 grappling with that recognition of there is a fear of annihilation, of nothingness. And yet that's balanced out by this awareness of what can't be calculated, can't be represented. And the paradox of how everything is alive, everything is a mystery. So anyways, that's kind of where that poem comes out of. If you've never seen the movie, it's a really wild trip. Very strange and kind of wonderful in a strange way. But I mean, there's also a public execution in there that basically is a synchronized swimming event that turns into a public execution, except for that's planned. I don't know. It's weird. It's so weird. There's shades of it that feel very much like they're making nods to 1984, Orwell's 1984. There's parts of it that, I just feel like there's a lot of homage to other earlier and contemporary sci-fi. But it is very much its own thing and its own weird thing. And the thing that I loved about it too was that Godard decides to make the sci-fi film, and for his setting, he simply uses Paris of the day, and he just chooses particular buildings and particular lighting to highlight, to give a weird sense of something that feels slightly into the future, even though it's it's the architecture of his moment. It is also feels something, the way he shoots it, the way he presents it, oddly feels like future. One of the other really interesting choices that he makes is that rather than present us with some sort of grandiose, awe-inspiring vision of the supercomputer, instead what he gives us is a single light bulb behind an oscillating fan, like a box fan, and you get this oscillating light coming through. And the voice of Alpha 60, he went and he found a man who had lost his voice box due to throat cancer, and used a electronic device to vibrate his own vocal cords, and he had that guy voice the computer, which is such a eerie, weird voice that feels part machine, part human. And I think that's part of the magic of what makes the movie work, is like all these different choices that feel surprisingly on point, though you would never have expected or imagined it working out that way. So, but it's a very strange movie, definitely very strange movie. Anyways, so let's figure out who we can go raid and pick up from there. Okay, so who's up? Not Too Shabby is up. I think we're doing. Okay, let's go visit Not Too Shabby. It's been a while. Not Too Shabby. Okay, so we're going to head over to Not Too Shabby. Another longtime TLD streamer, player, talented guy. I'm going to hang out there for a little bit. I'm going to probably get some more water and then wrap up myself. Okay, so take care. Thank you all. We'll see you soon.